My name is Josh. I am a retired Master Sergeant. I served for 15 years in the U.S. Army as an infantryman. I enlisted in 1999 and my first duty assignment was at Arlington National Cemetery. Shortly after the attacks on 9/11, I was one of the first responders that served at the Pentagon. Shortly after my duty assignment at Arlington Cemetery, I re-enlisted and I was assigned to the 1st Infantry Division, 1st Battalion, 26th Infantry Regiment, the Blue Spaders, in Schweinfurt, Germany. With the Blue Spaders, I deployed twice to Iraq. So during that second deployment, we lost a lot of guys, unfortunately. We were operating in a part of Baghdad that just didn't have American presence for a number of years. And over the course of that year-and-a-half long deployment, we had lost more guys. More guys were killed and injured than any other unit since the Vietnam War, at least at the time. After we returned home and everybody leaves the unit, everyone starts to go their own separate ways. That's kind of the life of the military. The guys that I served with, a lot of them started to struggle.
As things progressed with Josh's injuries and having to go through the surgeries required to repair the damage to his spine, diving was one of the only activities that he was able to still do. And we were in a time frame where we lost a number of guys from his unit to suicide in a very short period of time. And we were driving across country headed home after having just lost 2 of them in the same week. And we sat there and said, what is it that we can do that would make a difference? And on that road trip back home, Nisa and I started talking about, why was I lucky? How did I find success after my deployments? And we realized that a big part of that was I'd found an activity that I absolutely loved doing. There was something driving me forward. There was hope. I had a plan on what I wanted to do after my military service. And there was an element of faith in there that was very important. And we said, what if we put together a program that took veterans scuba diving? But beyond that, we wanted it to have a lasting impact beyond just the physical activity that would transcend whatever their physical injury might be.
So the foundation of our program really is a trauma counseling program. Throughout their week with us, our participants are going to engage in more than 30 hours of trauma counseling with a licensed counselor who is also a veteran themselves. We couple that experience with diving as it's an activity that can transcend many of their physical injuries, and we incorporate daily devotions with the military chaplain to address those moral injuries associated with their deployments in a combat zone.
One of the things that we see, as the group comes up out of the water and back onto the deck of the boat is just the smiles. You have people that have been so ingrained in sorrow and pain, and they're experiencing something that makes them free. When they're in the water, there is no pain.
Many of the veterans prior to participating in our program felt like they needed to hide in their homes, or they didn't feel like they had value in contributing to their community. Yet when they return home, they're out there engaging. They're becoming leaders in the workplace. For many of them, they're finding this new passion in diving, and they're not just the recreational divers, but they're continuing on in their professional development. They're becoming dive masters, they're going through instructor courses, and they're finding their own way to use those leadership skills within the dive industry, mentoring other divers, many of them mentoring disabled divers.
So at the end of the day, what we are trying to accomplish is a holistic approach to healing. We are healing our veterans' mind, body, and soul.